mortar sort of maneuvering about, a bit exposed there right in the middle of the road. Trying to consider this my strong point at the moment, and we are seeing the half-track veering through here, apparently not going to move in straight into the front of the heavy machine gun. Instead here, and for some reason, of course, I've ordered a mortar there, but instead it now sets up as I'm desperately trying to order it to retreat even before it actually began setting up, but instead it pig-headedly does so, losing me. The team heavy machine gun fires away, killing a few foes Grenadiers, but they're of course quick to get in. T-17 moves in. Riflemen are suffering losses, stunning the half-track, ordering the heavy machine gun to shift to armor-piercing rounds, but it doesn't fire for some ungodly reason. Finally getting around to it, but that was certainly one of those another moments where I was a bit annoyed. T-17 blasting away, doing quite a bit of damage to the half-track. Grenadiers moving in with a Panzer X. Riflemen moving in, and the half-track goes out of control, crashing into the nearby river. And charging those riflemen right behind heavy cover, doing quite a bit of damage, but one is killed, giving the rifleman edge into one, but it is forced to retreat. A grenade goes off, doing absolutely no harm to the rifleman. And the T-17 sneaks in, trying to perhaps get some shots, but it is getting awfully close. And if those grenadiers get into the building, things might look very, very bad. Rifleman moving forwards, doing the best. Heavy machine gun firing away, but those grenadiers enter the cafe. T-17 heavily damaged, and another Panzer rather swiftly fly off, actually. Knocking out, in fact, he's equipped it with two Panzer, turning into a sort of Panzer Buster team, Tank Buster team. Certainly been interesting. And so a bit of a lull in the fighting, of a sort of regrouping, pulling back, equipping, and perhaps wondering what to do. Bit unsure about all of what's going on. And of course, discovering here that he set up an MG42 to guard this point. Certainly not another moment. Shank is certainly being a more competent Wehrmacht player than I've certainly seen most. A pride to the fatherland, most certainly. Rounds bombarding this point, Pioneers getting out. Instead setting up a mine there, and there's also been a mine laid down here, certainly protecting himself from any vehicular flanking movements from the north. Rifleman moving in here, killing one Pioneer, probably forcing those rest to get out. Then there we go, MG42 moving in, setting up right here to cover this area. Again, not a bad move. And Rifleman moving in towards the south to stop some foes Grenadiers here. Other Rifleman team waiting here for that half-track to arrive and reinforce. We shall have to see what happens. In the meanwhile, we are seeing a vast force of German infantry moving towards the center with a mortar team in support. The only non-infantry thing we've so far seen is that half-track, and that's gone. The rest is in fact infantry-based. Either support or, of course, directional attack infantry. Panzer Nacker team still hanging about nearby. Not going to do so much against infantry, but of course all those Foes Grenadiers with MP40s might be able to do something with that. And of course here I might have been helpful if I had gotten the BARs instead of perhaps, I don't know, that heavy machine gun, but of course nothing to do about that. And here I'm not entirely sure what's going on. I ordered those riflemen to enter the church, but instead they charged right into it, so I'm not entirely sure what's going to happen there. Half-track moving in, and of course I'm not really noticed that those Grenadiers have two Panzer tracks, so I'm rather acting as there's only one, in which case I felt I could send in this half-track to sort of flank. Riflemen catching those first Grenadiers off guard, forcing them back, and Veterancy 3 now up for infantry, giving them extra health besides elite armor. Mortar flying in, knocking out my own mortar. Of course I'm much too preoccupied with what was going on with that Rifleman team right there. Now the half-track is gone as well. Things are not looking good at all. Suffered heavy losses there. Half-track, engineers, mortar is lost, and I'm certainly not a happy commander at the moment. A bit frustrated with all that has gone on so far. And now we are seeing the Sturm Armory coming up, so again slowly approaching, not taking any wild rushes, anything like that. Good solid commander, knows his bits. And mine going off, killing a lot of riflemen alongside that mortar shell. Not a happy moment as well. Certainly ominous. And there we go, rifleman team is lost, suffering heavy losses, getting pineapple grenades and another mortar. Apparently I'm not entirely sure what I'm doing in this moment. Just frustration right getting to me, I feel, with all of these tiny accidents. And of course still lagging. Of course it's not his fault, at least I hope it's not, but of course to me it's rather
Losing ground
causing
out
some
there.
frustrating moments at the wrong points. Gone for infantry company, and he's not even gone for anything. So, continuing their march through the southern areas and trying to march through the center, but of course mortar right there, apparently not set up though. Might be an advantage to me. First Grenadier team there with of course MP40s and veterans with 3 very tough. Riflemen without veterancy because I've barely been able to get any. I've been bleeding riflemen. I've not even get a medic station because I've not felt I've had the time for it. And getting suppressed. First Grenadiers moving in with MP40s and a mortar round hitting straight amongst them, killing most of them. And now moving in through here as well. Things are certainly heavily exposed and heavily deteriorating for the 28th Infantry Division as the 344th are pushing forwards very heavily. First Grenadiers moving with MP40s again. And Grenadiers, and there we go, pineapple grenade blowing up a few First Grenadiers, and a counter grenade killing even further riflemen, forcing them to retreat. And there we go, game over. Quite frustrated with the entire thing. I give up, and the 28th pull back, and there we go. That is the perverse thing, as some people have apparently been requesting a loss from me, of course, to show that I'm apparently not someone just showing only my victories. And of course I wanted to show my losses, but of course the whole pressure thing rather made it a bit perverse, I felt, for me, and sort of put on a slightly nasty pressure on me. So and I just went for this. So I hope you liked it. If you did, why not subscribe? If you did, or tell your friends, and if you didn't, well, why not send in a replay of your own? And for those of course wanting this, I hope you're happy now. If not, well, tough luck. So what can we learn from this? Well, of course this was partly just me getting slowly more frustrated. Again, it happens sometimes. We all have bad games, but at the same time I was a bit too spread out. Instead, I should have focused right here on a smaller front. I probably should have gone for some more mines, perhaps some barbed wire, been a bit more careful with my T-17. But again, some things just didn't work out in some rather curious manners. Of course, the heavy machine gun was really a mistake. I should have gone for either BARs or more riflemen, or perhaps some pineapple grenades might really have cleared out the way. And who knows what else I could have done. But there you go again. I hope you enjoyed it. Cheers.